So, okay. Good morning, afternoon, or good night to everyone, to my classmates, to the teacher. As you know, my name is Nieto Ramos Luis Guillermo. I will be present to you the Ishtar Gate. So, what is the Ishtar Gate? This gate is an ancient. This gate is an ancient city walls of the ancient city of Babylon. Now, well, as you can see here, here is Babylon. Now, this city is a name that we know from legends. It is mentioned in the Bible as Babel in the Story of Babel, as a story of a god run against humanity. But now, this is a real place. Actually, it's not just a part of the Christian mythology. This is an actual city, and it was ancient before called Babylon. Today is an Arabic called Babel, and it is now called Iraq. Well, now I'm going to talk about the Ishtar Gate in 5 points. Now, our first point is that this gate it is made of mud bricks. One of these few resources that can be made in the desert, or well, in the Middle East, there are two natural resources. The first one is the oil, where we already aware of today, and the other one is this one, mud. Just something that you can find walking around of the desert. But the Babylonians made out into mock bricks, as you can see here, with a really form that it was then glazed, so the artist can do these really impressive figures, as you can see here in the image. Okay, now this glaze over these mold bricks that gives us a beautiful blue color. I will give you in the next moment the blue color. So they try to imitate this stone called lapis. How is it called? Lapis lazuli, something like that in that language. It was such an intense blue color that the Babylonians loved, and they used to use it for short pieces of art that shows power. They use it in portraits for kings, and also even the kings have blue beards because that was a sign of their masculinity, their virility, and their ultimate power. So this is the blue color that I was talking to you. They want to emit that color in this gate, and also, as I told you, this represent a power for the kings. Okay, the second point is that the Ishtar gate is covered with animals. It has the bull, as you can see here. It has dragons. Well, the thing here is that these are very powerful animals in themselves, but they are not just animals just because of that. Here they are representative divinities. For example, the bullet represents Ada, who used to be the god of the weather. And as you can imagine, the weather was quite important for the ancient of Babylonia. I mean, they were in the desert, so the god of weather was very important, not just to bring rains at the right time, but also because cultivation through irrigation was practically around the city. So it was it was a very central problem, a very central main to survival for the Babylonians. The other god was this one, called Mushushu in the Babylonian language. This is a dragon composed by different parts of the animal. Well, with the most powerful parts of different animals. For example, we have here the claws of the lions, we have the tail of the scorpion, the face of the snake, and also we have here the tongue of the snake, as you can see here, very very explicit. This god is called Marduk. So Marduk was the god of the protection of the city. He had a great temple in the center of the city, inside the city, obviously. Um, the history mentioned that maybe this dragon or this god actually has a kind of reference in the Bible, in the Tower of Babel. This reference we can see it in the Bible. So people think that this god used to be a reference for that. Okay, so what is called Ishtar? So the 3 point is the dedicate to this god who is obviously called Ishtar. This is an ancient goddess in the Babylonian of love and war. What a combination! I know. Uh, we can see here a shot of goodness of the looking of the epic of Galamesh. This is an old story that was told and retold in ancient Babylonian, so everybody knew it. It was like the Odyssey to the Greeks, and this epic Galesh told us that Ishtar, this goddess, when she got angry at that point, she wanted to make sure that she has to get everything in her way. So she trained if she didn't receive that in her way, she would go down to the underworld, and she got it all the dead souls, and then bring it up to show us and to have like sparring or fair to this goddess. So it was a really goddess of love, like short of fair actually. Um, so as you can see here, as we know, this gate is dedicated to Ishtar. We can know there is dedicated to Ishtar because there was a stone found buried under the ground, under the gate. Sorry, and this stone had her name. So this is the fact that we tend to believe that this this goddess, this gate was representative of this goddess. But not, but also the lines were quite important for that. Sorry about this. Let me just. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Okay, so another figure that was pretty important for this gate was the lions. Um, as you can see here, the lions were not just in the gate as it is. It was on the street that runs up the gate, as you can see here, and you can see over here. Here were the lions. In a moment, we will see a picture more closer. So these figures of lions meant to be powerful, a powerful man with a powerful animal with claws that we used to talk about in the Dragon Mushu. But it is also beautiful, and it is also elegant to this perfection of this goddess star of this goddess Ishtar, and also the lions, this representative. So this brings us to the point number 4. Here, as you can see, here are the lions. In a couple of more minutes, we are going to talk about a little bit of these lions. Okay, or 4 point, there is related to the part of the New Year celebration. So this New Year didn't happen in January 1st. In fact, New Year on January 1st didn't come until the modern period in Europe because, well, it's kind of difficult to imagine that every time New Year is celebrated just in January 1st. So Babylonians celebrate New Year in spring because in spring it's a time of newness. It is when the plants are reborn. It is when the seeds sprout. There is time for the rejuvenation and of the time of being of the beginning. Sorry. So in the spring, the Babylonians celebrate their new year with the procession of these lions facing you, who has this double effect. This lion has a double effect. The first one is to welcome their people who belong in the city, that they will feel like they feel like protected by the goddess Ishtar, but it has a reverse effect to anyone who might be the enemy of the city in times of war or conflict. Sorry, that the lions are of course guarding the city. They act as of the guardians, and they have these open mouths, as you can see here in the image. Here are like this imagine of protection, or this figure or of intention of attack. Um, so this brings us to the last point. So this gate involves power, of as we were talking about the colors. This gate involves power. It is the power of the city, obviously, but also the power of the king who builded these lions, that blue color, the side of the gate, obviously the resources that went into the gate. These all representations a huge impression of power that Babylon wanted to impress upon anybody coming into the city. But also the king power. The king wrote an inscription inside the gate. These ones, this in specific. This king wrote an inscription on the side of the gate in first person, in which he says, "I built this gate. I had uh, outfitted with great doors. I will even use wood doors in expression of power, because there isn't no wood in the desert of Babylon, and he had to import them from Lebanon, the famous cedars of Lebanon." He also says he provides bronze bulls, as you can see here in the image, uh, to watch over the gate, to protect the gate, obviously. These probably are the yellow bulls that you can see here in the presentation. We see inside the doorway, as you can see here. So it is quite impressive, or quite stunning, this representation, because imagine all the place is like in dust, is like with not color, and then you arrive to the city, and the first thing you see is this lion's protection, is this powerful tower with intense color of blue. So it was quite impressive. Now, as you can see, it is not like in the real place. It is in a museum, I believe, in Berlin. So it doesn't has the same impact when you see it as it used to be in their moments. Here you can see the animals, the mushushu, also the bulls, and well, I think that will be it for me. Thank you so much for your attention. And if you have any question, you can do it, or you can let it in the comment box. Thank you so much, and I will see you in class.